The world of fame is often filled with sudden storms. What seems calm and beautiful on the surface can change in just one moment. The shocking twist between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively has left fans speechless. People are asking if this is the moment that changes everything. Emotions are heavy, hearts are trembling, and for the fans who follow their every move, this feels like a heartbreak they never expected. This is not just another celebrity headline. This is a moment that feels deeply personal to millions of people. Taylor Swift is not just an artist. She is a voice that fans carry in their hearts. Blake Lively is not just a star. She is someone who many admire for her grace and her friendship with Taylor. When something shakes this bond, it feels like a storm tearing through the hearts of those who believed in them. The twist is not about rumors. It is not about gossip. It is about emotions that are raw and impossible to ignore. Fans are crying out on social media. They are asking why. They are asking how. And they are asking if this is the end of something they once believed was unbreakable. Every tweet, every post, every comment is filled with pain. Some fans defend Taylor with all their heart. Others stand firmly with Blake. The split is painful because it is not about choosing sides in a movie. It is about choosing between two people who both held a piece of the same story. And now that story feels broken. When fans speak, they do not just use words. They use feelings. They speak of trust. They speak of betrayal. They speak of love that feels lost. In their voices, there is anger. In their voices, there is sadness. And in their voices, there is also hope. Hope that somehow things might return to the way they were. But deep down, everyone knows. Things will never be the same. The news spread like fire. It did not take hours. It did not take days. It took only minutes for the world to know that something had happened between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively. What followed was not silence. It was an explosion of emotion that could not be contained. Fans who always saw them as symbols of joy and trust were left in disbelief. Some could not sleep. Some could not eat. They kept refreshing their screens, hoping to see a sign that the news was not real. But each update confirmed the same truth. The twist was real, and the pain was real. The first wave of reactions was pure shock. People typed the same words again and again. No. Please no. Tell me this is not true. These were not just comments. These were cries from hearts that felt betrayed by the very story they had trusted. After shock came anger. Fans felt as if something sacred had been taken away from them. They argued fiercely online. Some accused Taylor of being careless with her choices. Others accused Blake of not protecting what they had. The words were heavy. The emotions were raw. And the wounds were deep. In the middle of this storm, there were fans who simply broke down. They wrote messages filled with sadness. They shared stories of how Taylor and Blake had inspired them. For them, this twist was not just a headline. It was a personal loss. Something that touched their lives in ways outsiders could never understand. The internet turned into a battlefield. One side stood by Taylor. One side stood by Blake. And between them was a sea of heartbreak. Hashtags began to trend. Videos began to circulate. Every platform was filled with noise. The kind of noise that comes only when millions of voices cry out at the same time. And yet behind the noise there was silence too. A silence that came from those who did not know what to feel. They were too stunned to take a side, too broken to form words. They sat in silence, staring at their screens, unable to process the storm that had suddenly entered their world. The twist did not just create division. It created reflection. Fans began to ask themselves if they had placed too much faith in a friendship they could never truly see. They wondered if they had believed in an image that was never real. And that thought hurt more than anything else. For every fan who shouted in anger, there was another who whispered in pain. For every post filled with rage, there was another filled with tears. And for every voice demanding answers, there was another voice praying that this nightmare would somehow end. There are moments when silence feels louder than words. When the truth finally begins to unfold about Taylor Swift and Blake Lively, the silence is deafening. The twist is not revealed with joy. It is revealed with weight. It lands like a storm cloud hanging over millions of people who believed in something brighter. The details are not told in one sentence. They come slowly like pieces of glass falling to the floor. Each update hurts. Each revelation cuts deeper. The picture begins to form, and with every moment the hearts of fans sink lower. They feel as if the world they trusted is slipping through their fingers. People ask themselves, how could this happen? How could something so strong break so suddenly? There is no clear answer. There are only fragments of stories and whispers of truth. Yet those fragments are enough to make the pain unbearable. For the fans, it does not matter if the twist is small or big. What matters is that it shakes the foundation of loyalty they believed in. For them, the twist is not about fame or headlines. It is about trust that feels shattered. It is about love that feels questioned. It is about friendship that no longer feels safe. On every platform, the same words appear again and again. Broken, heartbroken, shattered. Fans write them with trembling hands. They share their feelings as if letting the world know might somehow lighten the weight they carry inside. But the weight does not fade. It only grows heavier with time. The twist is not only about Taylor and Blake. It is about every fan who once smiled when they saw them together. It is about every person who believed in the idea of bonds that never break. And now those people are left wondering if they too will lose the things they hold dear. Some fans respond with forgiveness. They write messages saying they still believe in Taylor. They still believe in Blake. They still believe in friendship. Others respond with anger that refuses to soften. They say this twist is unforgivable. That once trust is broken, it can never return. Between these voices lies the heart of the storm. Confusion, pain, and questions that have no easy answers. What happened? Why did it happen? Will things ever be the same again? The twist is not just an event. It is an earthquake. And the aftershocks will continue for a long time. The twist did not stay hidden for long. The moment whispers began, the media turned them into thunder. Headlines appeared on every screen. News anchors spoke with urgency. Online blogs wrote with fire. The story of Taylor Swift and Blake Lively became the story of the hour. Every outlet had its own version. Some painted Taylor as a victim. Others painted Blake as the one hurt the most. A few tried to stay neutral, but even their words carried weight. The media did not just report. The media magnified. Every sentence, every headline, every broadcast poured fuel onto the fire already burning in the hearts of fans. Television programs played dramatic music as they spoke of the shocking twist. Talk shows invited experts to give their opinions. Some spoke of loyalty. Some spoke of betrayal. Others spoke of how fame twists even the strongest of bonds. The conversation spread like a storm across the globe. Public reaction was just as intense. Outside concert venues, fans held signs filled with emotional words. Some wrote messages of love for Taylor. Some wrote messages of support for Blake. Many simply asked for answers. They wanted clarity. They wanted truth. But the truth felt hidden behind shadows. On the streets, people argued. In cafes, people whispered. On social media, people shouted. It was as if the entire world had been divided into two camps. Team Taylor, Team Blake. Each side stood strong. Each side believed they were right. And between them was a wide space filled with pain, confusion, and heartbreak. The media fed on this division. They published polls asking fans to choose sides. They created countdowns for new updates. They played clips again and again until the images became impossible to escape. For some fans, this constant coverage felt like torture. For others, it felt like validation of their feelings. Either way, the noise refused to fade. The intensity of the coverage revealed something deeper. It showed how much people cared. It showed that this twist was not a simple story. It was a human story. A story of trust and disappointment. A story of friendship and heartbreak. A story that touched people because it reminded them of their own lives. Public figures also joined the storm. Some celebrities posted messages of support. Some remained silent, which only made fans question their loyalty. Every word, every gesture was analyzed. Every silence was judged. Nothing escaped the eyes of a public that wanted answers and comfort. The reactions were not only loud, they were also heavy with emotion. Fans cried on live streams. Others wrote letters and open messages. Some even said they felt their own friendships breaking under the weight of what they saw. The twist had gone beyond Taylor and Blake.